It's September, and that means time for Halloween Horror Nights. There are 10 new haunted houses, there are 5 new scare zones, 2 new shows, tons of new merch and food and drinks, and I am here for all of it. You can actually get a lot of the merch out here on City Walk at the Universal store. I really like this motif too, especially that black hat. Oh, it's plastic. Oh yeah. Check here too. Not creepy at all. Chucky things. How many Chucky things do you think you'd like?
None. None Chucky things. Oh. Nope. Too many nightmares as a kid for that one.
I am so giddy. So excited for this. This is one of my favorite events every year. We're going to run into the HHN tribute store and see what they have to offer. Maybe get a desserty kind of snack.
That looks like your scene.
Things. Monsters Collide house. Meshy shoulders. That's interesting. And a regular one. When you walk out, it's like a crypt. So this is where they do the photos this year. It's very cool. Snack.
Spooky stuff.
Here are all the trees.
Yeah, and it's not really anywhere we can go, but okay. $12 for the detail.
These little stained glass windows they have are awesome. Ponies and maybe just try to breed giant black cats. We have those same buntings.
Oh yeah. Identical.
I'm not hungry, but they had a little black cat cake pop, so how could I say no to that? It's chocolate. It's melting all over me. His little eyes are Reese's Pieces. So moist and decadent. It's the perfect size. Sorry, kitty. Here are the arcade games. Soccer kick. Obviously that black cat hates anybody who plays soccer. So Halloween Horror Nights has what they call stay and scream areas. They have a few of them. And if you don't want to wait in line to get into Halloween Horror Nights at 6:30 when the event starts, if you have a day pass, you can come to Universal Studios earlier in the day and then just kind of hang out. They'll kind of herd you into one of these stay and scream areas when they start closing the park down at 5. And you basically just hang out there for a while, wait for them to sweep the park, and then they usually let you out before the event actually starts, and you can squeeze in 1, 2, maybe even 3 houses, depending on your luck, depending on crowd level, before the event even starts. What's our favorite stay and scream area?
I feel like really the only one we've ever done, the half dozen times we've been, it's always Finnegans. Finnegans is definitely the best one because
They have a bar.
they've got a bar. Not all of them have bars. You got a little snack if you want it, a nice air-conditioned area, sit down, but mostly the bar.
I am wearing my Haunting of Hill House shirt from last year. That was my favorite house last year. Definitely the best one in my opinion. I'm not sure what I'm looking forward to most this year. The one with like the flapper witches coven. I'm kind of into that. I'm looking forward to the bugs eaten alive one because Mike doesn't like bugs, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a good time for me. Insert evil laugh here. And I'm also looking forward to the Blumhouse one because we did make sure that we watched Freaky and Black Phone. Freaky was funny because it was really entertaining to see Vince Vaughn in that role, but the Black Phone really freaked me out, so that one might be scary. What are you most looking forward to? Is it the bugs one?
No, it's not the bugs. You know what would be worse than a bug covered in mayonnaise.
We stopped at the food truck in the San Francisco area to get some macaroni and some beers. I got this crazy ecto cooler kind of thing. The gentleman did warn me that it's sour, which of course it's sour, but that didn't occur to me. So I appreciated the warning. It tastes basically like a green apple Jolly Rancher. It's sour, but I'm digging it. It's very refreshing. Mike got the macaroni with the pork belly on top.
That was actually really good. I think the whole thing cost, I don't know, $9 or $10. But I had kind of the big shell macaroni, which I'll take the macaroni after it comes. I'm not a real shell snob.
I prefer shells.
As opposed to elbows.
Yes.
But you like those little fancy ones.
I am
What's
a weird...
those ones that you like that's Kappa?
Fusilli?
I don't know. You got some sort of fancy shape.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Cavatappi.
That's the one I think that you like. But no. Cheese had a little bit of those kind of long, tiny onions. I don't know if there's a special name for them. But yeah, and the pork, it looked like a pork belly on a stick. It was already chopped up, so you probably had 8 or 9 little pieces of pork that go with macaroni. So yeah, for the price, that was actually a good value buy.
Sarah and I loved that truck during the Mardi Gras festival.
Yes, I feel like that truck always has some bangers. But yeah, right there's Inter San Francisco. Before you get to Shea Alcatraz, that's kind of the area we're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest Halloween celebration we have ever put on. That is largely due to the partnership between our mayor and our new benefactor, candy mogul Major Sweets.
All right, they've opened things up. Fiesta de Chupacabras had like a 15-minute wait, so we started there first. Are you excited? First house of 2020.
I don't know exactly what, are they like a rat? Is it a rat?
Scary dog monsters.
Oh, it's like a scary rat dog.
You're gonna be in for a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm wondering.
Gosh, at the end there.
Oh.
Alright, thoughts on Chupacabra?
So a lot of the Chupa who? How do you even pronounce it?
Chupacabra.
Like a chupa?
Yes. Kind of like chalupa, but without one of the syllables.
So, Chupacabra. It had, I don't know if some of them I think may have been like animatronics or puppets. Others might have been people, but there were definitely some realistic Chupacabras coming at your face. And definitely near the ear you get grazed by something. I don't know what that something was, but there was a grazing.
Oh, it got you.
I
saw you jump.
I was gotched. I think twice, because they have that little window where if they got you once, they're going to got you the second time. I was getting gotched the second time.
One of the things I always forget is how elaborate these haunted houses are. Like, the sets are incredible. So much detail, like everywhere. You can't take it all in. I mean, you're trying to, and that's when they pop around the corner and get you. Right next door to the Chupacabra house is Dead Man Winter's Wake, so hopping right in there. Our waitress at Finnegans told us that this house was incredible, that the set was gorgeous. That was her exact word. Gorgeous. Alright, Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake was a really elaborate house.
Yeah, the set on that one was, I mean, the way the whole scene starts, first room you go in, there's this, it almost looks like one of those historical marker site signs.
Yeah.
And you want to take your time to read it, but it's kind of lengthy, so you don't want to like hold up the crowd. So the gist I got of it was there was a ship captain, and I guess his ship went down and he died at sea.
Yeah, in New England fishing town.
Yeah. So but then when you walk in, you actually feel like you're like walking onto the set of, I don't know, almost like a Winter Pirates. I mean, the rooms themselves are just super elaborate, and then we get to this one thing, there's like a shipwreck, and there's this
a violin playing ghost.
Yeah, who I guess was his widow, the captain's widow.
Playing a violin on the ship.
Yeah. And it's raining. It's raining inside the front room. So I mean that was phenomenal.
There was one scare actor that I saw gotched me.
There were lots of gotchings to be had.
All right, best one so far.
Yep, agreed.
Of course, it's Florida, so there's some rain. A lot of the scare zone actors had to go back inside because you can't have that makeup running off. So hopefully they'll come back soon. Okay, the Blumhouse? I don't even know. So it's broken up into two. The first one is Freaky. And that one was fun. It wasn't really that scary. There is this one part where you see the mascot on the wall, and then there's a flash of light and it changes to Vince Vaughn, like the mask. Flashes back to the mascot, back to Vince Vaughn. And then you go to a separate building, and that's Black Phone. And I shrieked, I don't know, 5 times?
You were behind me, but there were several shrieks coming from behind me. And that one, you need to watch the movie because you just need to watch that movie. But if you just see the previews for that movie, the main bad guy, he wears this crazy looking mask thing, and there are lots of those in there. Yeah,
Ethan Hawke in that mask is all over that house, and they gotched me, and they gotched me good. That one was good.
Yeah.
As an aside, one thing that gets me every time is when they bang on the floor. If you're gonna bang on the floor while I'm walking above it, I'm going to yell every time.
The floor banging usually happens in a narrow hallway where you're coming out from some sort of barrier that you have to move with your hands, like something hanging from the ceiling. Narrow hallway, and it's dark, and that's when the banging happens because you don't know exactly where it's coming from. The side,
Terrifying.
It is. It is.
So for keeping track, Winter's Wake is still the most beautiful, elaborate house. Blumhouse, scariest house so far. So we stopped at the very loud Weeknd After Hours bar. I got the Keel and Curly pecan pie cider in the souvenir cup. You have to get the souvenir cup. Plus it saves you $3 on every refill, and you know I'm gonna get more than one drink. Oh, I like that. So it's weird. I mean, you get the pecan pie, but you also get like a pumpkin-y kind of taste too.
So I like the taste. However, the smell to me, it almost comes off, I'm almost getting like a vinegar.
Oh, man. I like it. Do you like it?
I like the taste of it.
Different. You got the whole hog pumpkin ale, right?
Whole hog pumpkin ale. And in the spirit of fact checking, the souvenir glass saves you $1, not $3.
No?
Don't listen to this one about money matters.
I don't know.
She just swipes, that's all she knows, she just swipes. But, back to the pumpkin. For a pumpkin beer, it's kind of subtle, like it's not, I honestly don't get as much of the pumpkin flavor as I do with some other ones, like a Shipyard pumpkin, or pumpkin head, yeah. I'm blanking on that one. See what you think about the pumpkin.
Smells pumpkin-y. No. I mean, it tastes like a fall beer, but it tastes like pumpkin in that it tastes like, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but it tastes like pumpkin. It's not pumpkin in like allspice and cinnamon and all of the spices that you usually attribute to pumpkin beer.
So Beth calls it an authentic pumpkin, is it the fruit? What kind of fruit? It has seeds, I think it's a fruit. Fact check me on that one. But, yeah, you don't get the cinnamon, the clove, any of that kind of stuff that makes you think.
It's like just pumpkin, like pumpkin itself.
Yeah. Not my thing, but some people might like it.
Okay, so the souvenir cup's $15. A refill is $11. The drink on its own is $12.
Correct.
Okay, so get 3 refills, and then you'll save $3. Okay, Monsters Collide. I didn't think it was that scary, but I loved it because it was all like Egyptian stuff.
Yeah, even though it was Universal Monsters, they went all in on Mummy.
On the Mummy, yeah. It was
And,
like all hieroglyphics and Anubis, and it was really cool.
And for me, sometimes a house hits, meaning that you seem to always be in the right spot for every scare. That's what happened to me just.
Yeah, there was
I
a
got
lot of
catched so many times. Yeah.
I really liked that one. That one was good.
Like I said, that one, even though it probably would be the scariest for most, my path just crossed with everybody jumping out at once.
Scare zone time is on now. We came out of that Universal Monsters Collide house, and it is dark. Bring on the creepiness. Doesn't even feel like the same place now. We look like pumpkins.
Got this David S. Pumpkins thing going on, a lot of orange.
Alright, so the Weeknd house. I didn't think that one was scary.
No, it's unique though. You feel like you're in a club the whole time. Like in the queue, everybody's dancing. In the house, people are dancing.
The music's great. I mean, it's the Weeknd.
And if you saw the Super Bowl show a couple years ago,
I knew there would be mirrors.
there's a part of the house that has that sort of feel to it. A lot of mirrors. Not so much a maze, but you know, and there's some theme with plastic surgery that keeps creeping up a couple of times.
There are a lot of lights.
And which is kind of refreshing in a way because most haunted houses are dark.
Dark,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that's how they usually operate. But this one has rooms where you go in and be almost very bright. But you could at least look around and see things and things like that. But there were other parts that were dark too.
Yeah. Not scary, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still have people jumping out at you, and you know, there were definitely times
There's
where I
the one
jumped.
room with all the guys that I was like, this is creepy, don't like that. A lot like the Us house.
Yep, if you came to Halloween Horror Nights 30 and went to Us House, that last room you walk in, there's a lot of people, you know, some are mannequins and some are real people. Same type of situation in this house, except they were just random. They didn't necessarily stay still, like, I mean, they're just kind of roaming, like you thought everybody was moving. But it was, yeah, I walked in that room and
I was like, I don't like
I may have
this.
used some foul language, but I was like, nope.
Mike, you want a snack or a drink?
Do you people not remember this movie? You remember how terrifying that thing was? First time I saw it, I was in 5th grade, terrified, nightmares for weeks. And then the second one came out, I think maybe the next year. Watched that thing with my dad, again, terrifying. If you haven't seen Child's Play, don't. Of some sort. I'll try the October.
Alright, before our next house, we had to stop again because we had to try the rest of the beers. I got the Rogue Bat Squatch Hazy IPA. Smells like a hazy, tastes like a hazy. It's the best beer, in my opinion. Now, I liked the pecan pie cider, but it was really sweet. Like, that was definitely a one and done for me.
Very sweet.
And I feel like it was an odd choice. Like, who's drinking more than one of them?
Not a lot of folks. Not your typical Halloween Horror Nights crowd, you know, because not a lot of kids here. A kid might enjoy that if it didn't have a little ETOH.
If your kids are boozers.
If there ever was a kid that was a boozer, it would be this one's offspring.
Alright, so what are you drinking?
So I got the Oktoberfest. The exact brand was something in the nature of Hacker Schofferhofer.
That's not it.
It was German, but I like this one better. I hate to say it because I'm a big pumpkin beer person, but I think I do like this one better than the pumpkin beer I had. One note, you know, when I make a mistake, I need to owned up to it. A few minutes ago, there was an instance where I talked about Beth not really saving a lot of money with her souvenir cup. You know, I thought she was saving $1. I was incorrect. She is saving $1. However, she's saving $1 by getting a 16-ounce refill compared to a 12-ounce new, which whatever the math works out to is certainly more than $1 savings. So
it's savings plus more fun.
So again, my mistake. I messed up. Beth was mostly correct, and that really pains me to say that.
We should just close out the video here. Bye, guys.
And that'll do it for us.
Where are we going now, Mike?
Bugs eaten alive. But when you look at the sign, it almost looks like Bugs Eternal Life.
Which is worse.
Which is worse. You want an undying bug. That's not for me. We're hearing.
Alright, Mike was looking forward to this house.
Nope. Not looking forward to it at all.
It wasn't scary. I didn't think it was scary. It was cheesy.
Yeah, it was a little more campy. Yeah, I would say from a scare factor, not crazy. But there were definitely, I don't know what was touching my head, but it was definitely touching my head. Not just things like came from the ceiling, but I think someone was touching my head. Of all the houses we've been to so far, maybe the least scary?
I think it was the least scary.
Yeah.
For sure. You were part of like an infomercial gone bad.
Yeah, the first scene is like this, what you would imagine like a housewife from the 50s to be, and she's enjoying her air conditioning unit or whatever, and I guess there's some sort of
bug repellent kind of.
Bug repellent coming from I think that's the premise of the whole thing, was that there's this bug repellent that goes into your air conditioning system, so that way you don't have to like spray for bugs, the bugs are supposed to die.
And things went awry.
Things went awry. There were lots of gentlemen that had pustules, like a lot of the bugs got bigger, the people got plaguey looking. It was a little bubonic-y.
I think that should be a HHN house. The bubonic plague.
You remember those crazy doctors during that
with
time?
With the bird masks? Like,
what was that about?
Those are really creepy.
Like, what?
I mean, that'd be a good house.
It'd be a little terrifying. But yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it'd be. If you have a bug issue, it'll be fine. It's not that type of scary. I guess on to the next one.
Descendants of Destruction. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the premise is there are these mutants that live under the New York City subway system. And then, given the stalactites and stalagmites, they took an 8th grade field trip to Luray Caverns.
That's the gist of it. Maybe not so much the Luray Caverns part, but
well, they were in the caverns, I saw.
There were some cavernous sections. But I thought the costumes were more detailed than some of the other houses, so I'll give them an A for the costumes. The plot itself, I don't know, it's kind of weak.
My least favorite house so far.
Yeah, there was no real storyline to it that I could gather.
I mean, they went to Luray Caverns. What more of a story do you need, Mike?
Luray Caverns is a magical place. This video is also sponsored by Luray Caverns. The good people at the Virginia Park System, I don't know. Yeah, I would say it's one of those houses that it's there. Do it if you're going to be here, but if there's a house,
do all of them, but
if there's a house you gotta maybe not do, maybe you leave that one.
That'd be the one.
Yeah, leave that one.
All right, so I got the Ghoul Juice. It is Myers Dark Rum, Cherry Brandy, Simple Syrup, Mango Nectar, Lime Juice, Bitters, and ice. Now we're here to party. So it's good. It has a very like thick velvety mouthfeel, which I have to assume comes from like the mango nectar.
It's juice. It's got I don't know if I taste the alcohol. It's a sweet juice drink, and if you maybe you don't like alcohol, you could try this one because I just don't taste alcohol at all.
I don't hate it. All right, onward. We have 3 more houses to go.
Let's do it. Do it. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Pretty excited about them. And a Peroni.
So, for Halloween Horror Nights, pizza fries are kind of a staple. You know, something you do. These might be available more than just Halloween Horror Nights, but I certainly attribute them to that. So, it's got cheese, it's got fries, it's got pepperoni, it's got sausage, marinara in there. What's not to love? And no, I mean no mayonnaise, no white condiment, nothing.
Somebody help us. Trick or treat!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the biggest Halloween celebration we have ever put on. That is largely due to the partnership between our mayor and our new benefactor, Candy Mogul Major Sweets. Hey kid!
The Halloween house. I have a lot to say about this one.
That was a surprising hit for me. I mean, it's a classic theme, but there were definitely areas. I mean, there's one bad guy. I mean,
Michael Myers.
You see the same character a lot, but you enter this house and it reminds me a lot of our house in terms of it's a wall. It's got like these large like art prints on the wall. I'm like, this could easily be me walking to go to work or something, you know? Let her tell you what happened to her.
They got me twice, like full on screen.
She was ahead of me and she froze and
that's what
fear.
I do. When I get scared, I just like stop, like a deer in the headlights. There was one time we were coming down a hallway, I think, and I like screamed, and Mike like kind of grabbed me by my waist and pushed me on. And then the last 10 seconds, you come into this room, and I walked in and gasped, and like put my hands on my knees because it like startled me so much and caught me off guard. And then this guy comes up on my right, and I like blood curdling scream, which I never do. Like, whew, that was the scariest one for me.
And like you're talking about that last room, that was just like the Us room a couple years ago. There's, I don't know, a dozen, 15 Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, they're just lined up on both sides of you.
Some of them are statues.
Some of them are not.
Some of them are not. You know which one's which until they start stabbing you. But next we're doing Coven. She's been waiting for this one all night. This is number 9 of 10. We've tried to save it to the end so we have like a, you know, something to really look forward to. And we'll see.
Spirits of the Coven. I knew I would love this one. Was not disappointed. Started off very jaunty, 1920s, flapper, speakeasy, kind of good time. And then it gets dark.
The first 3 rooms, I would say, I feel like you're at the Edison at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And then
You
things
kind
take
of
a
wanted
turn.
to sit down.
Yeah, there's a bar.
I mean, granted, there's a dead guy at the bar, but there was a bar.
Details. You go through those first couple rooms and then things get dark. It felt like a basement area, like a crypt.
Yeah.
If you were to commit a crime and had a body under your basement, it's that kind of atmosphere. A lot of the witches in the Coven were an older crowd, you know, kind of like your grandmother type thing. So
If your grandmother's a witch.
I think they could have made it more scary if it had younger people. There were younger people at the beginning. There was a younger person at the end. But in the middle, it was a lot of, I mean, what you would think of normally with...
stereotypical kind of cartoony witches almost.
Going back to Snow White, you know, like that kind of the hag.
Yeah.
They had very similar features to that gal.
All right, one more house.
One to go.
This is my favorite scare zone so far.
Yep.
I will no longer rest in the shadows. I have taken root and will now accept your praise. I am the Pumpkin Lord!
Last house, Hell Block Horror.
Hell Block Horror. Thoughts?
Mine first. I didn't love it.
It reminded me of the Subway one.
Yeah.
I forget the name of that one.
It seemed like it was lacking creativity, and I didn't find it scary. It was just kind of like, it was very meh for me.
You're in a prison, and I don't know, I guess the inmates have gone bad, but they're not just like people inmates, they're
mutants.
mutants,
Again, it's
aliens, you know, that kind of rigmarole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay, but not a top 5. Nothing like that.
Not my least favorite, but not in the top
Yeah.
tier for me either.
All right,
That being said,
10 houses. What's your favorite?
so my favorite is a toss-up between Coven, because I love anything witches, 1920s, flappers, like I just love that whole aesthetic. Speakeasies, I love that whole thing. Also, Winter's Wake, I really loved that. At the very, like the
Yeah.
second house we went through with the ship and the girl playing the violin, and it, like that one was just like, it was epic for me. That one
Best
really
set.
stood out.
I mean, definitely the best set. Agree with that one.
That's your favorite?
Yep, that would be my one.
All right, what's your least favorite?
Least favorite. Probably the Subway guy.
Descendants of Destruction.
Descendants of
Same.
Destruction.
That one was just, it was awful.
I never really understood the whole storyline behind it. And I'm kind of big on the storylines.
Yeah,
and
no, didn't love
sometimes
that
they
one.
exist and sometimes it's very weak. And, you know, in my opinion, that was a little bit off.
Yeah, didn't love that one. All right,
Yeah.
scariest.
It might have been Halloween.
That was for me, for sure, the scariest one. Maybe not the most scares, but definitely the biggest scares for me, by far, easily, because I almost sat down in that last room. Wasn't expecting much from that house, and that house definitely exceeded expectations
Yeah.
for me.
And one caveat about what we find scariest, it really depends on how you hit the house.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there are certain houses that are probably terrifying, but
Timing is so important.
if the person ahead of you gets a scare or the person behind gets a scare, you may just walk through it and not even think twice
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, I would, at least for our experience tonight, Halloween was the scariest.
Was not
in terms of
expecting that, but yeah.
hitting the pattern, hitting the rhythm, and
We had a great time.
no, we really did. I mean, if you've never been to Halloween Horror Nights, check it out.
It's the best.
I mean,
I
it's-
look forward to this. This is my favorite event of the year.
It's my favorite after-hours event, and I mean, I hate to say it, but that includes some of the parks across the I-4 there. You know what I mean?
It's a good one. It's fun.
It is. You have a blast.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming along with us. I know this is a longer video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, it has been a most gratifying and terrifying day
Or night.
or night. Bye.